Verse 2. He says, this is what he says to the church of Ephesus. I know your industry, your activities, laborious and toil and trouble, your patient endurance, and how you cannot tolerate wicked men, and have tested and critically appraised those who call themselves apostles, the special messengers of Christ, and yet are not, and have found them to be impostors and liars. I know you are enduring patiently and are bearing up for my name's sake, and you have not fainted or become exhausted or grown weary. But I have this one charge to make against you, that you have left and abandoned the love that you first had, and you have deserted me, your first love. Remember then from what heights you have fallen. Repent, change the inner man to meet God's will, and do the works that you did previously when you first knew the Lord. Or else I will visit you and remove your lampstand from its place, unless you change your mind and repent. And yet you have this in your favor and your credit, that you hate the work of the Nicolaitans, and what they are doing as corrupters of the people, which I myself also detest. And he who is able to hear, let him hear, and give heed to what the Spirit says to the assemblies in the churches. To him who overcomes and is victorious, I will grant to eat of the fruit of the tree of life, which is in the paradise of God. A few more words in there, I think, and it explains what the King James was really trying to show in its interpretation of the Greek. Okay? Jesus knew their good works, but he also noticed some things. The attitude of their heart. God knows our works, but he also knows our heart. You know, we use that phrase, God knows my heart, as our way of sometimes saying, don't you dare judge my works. God knows my heart. That's actually a dangerous thing to quote. Because according to the Ephesians, they had good works, and Jesus was judging their heart. We don't want people to notice our works. You better know my heart. Honey, if your works and your heart don't match, there's a problem. Yeah. See, you can have great works and your heart be far from God. You can look good on the outside and your heart be far from him. Your heart can be very close to God and you not really have great works. Not usually. Usually if it's right on the inside, it begins to flow on the outside. That doesn't work that way. And a lot of people are like, oh, don't judge my works. Yeah, there's some things in my life, but God knows my heart. Honey, what you do in your life is from your heart. I didn't say it, Jesus did. He said what a man does, what comes out of a man's mouth defines him, defiles him, proves what's in his heart. And what's in your heart came from your mind, and what's in your mind you've been thinking about. You know, it's the word. It's that simple. What we think about goes into our heart. What's in our heart comes out our mouth, and what's in our mouth and comes out of our mouth steers our whole life. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, James, all quoted those very same things. James talks about the little rudder. Has somebody tell me this week, it doesn't matter what I say. I can say whatever I want. I looked at him and said, see this little thing? It steers your life. You can't just say whatever you want. You say whatever you want, you're going to get exactly what you say. This formed the earth. God spoke, and it became. See, and out of our mouth, we speak from the abundance of our heart. That tells us what we've been thinking on, what we're focused on. So our heart does matter. Our intentions do matter. But just so you know, God knows them. He knows, and you can't hide it. A lot of people, they tell you their intentions, but their intentions, they're really hiding what they don't want you to know. You can't hide from God. He knows you naked. That's how I look at it. He knows you. He knows you in and out. He's got you figured out. He made you. He knows your intentions. He knows what you're thinking about. That's a scary thought too. One of the guys I used to go to church with, this was years ago, downstate, we used to sing the song, He knows my name. He knows my every thought. He used to tell me, I hate that song. He goes, I don't want God to know my thoughts. That's not good. It used to make me laugh. I was like, well, he does. Because according to the word, he knows your intents of your heart. So that means he knows your thoughts, because your thoughts go from here to here. So he knew Ephesus. He knew the intents of their heart. Yeah, he knew their deeds, but he knew their heart. So when Jesus corrects them, he corrects them in love based on their heart. So